you noticed? We've got it all right here at home. Nothing can stop us. Taking pride in where we're going. Taking pride in who we are. Mobile, show your pride. Together we'll go far. There's a feeling of excitement. You can see it everywhere. The pride of our whole region is the heartbeat that we share. The heartbeat that we share. Taking pride in Mobile. Haven't you noticed? We've got it all right here at home. Nothing can stop us. Taking pride in where we're going. Taking pride in who we are. Mobile, show your pride. Together we'll go far. Mobile, show your pride. Together we'll go far.
Taking pride in Mobile, taking pride in Mobile. Come on, let your spirit show. Taking pride in Mobile. We're growing, shining, winning, so we're taking pride in Mobile. We're old, we're young, we're fast and slow, and we love watching our future grow. Let's tell the world so they will know, and we're taking pride in Mobile. And wherever I may go, I'll tell them I'm from Mobile. We're old, we're young, fast and slow, and we love watching our future grow. Let's tell the world so they will know, and we're taking pride in Mobile. And wherever I may go, I'll tell them I'm from Mobile. Taking pride in Mobile, taking pride in Mobile.
When you take a look around you, no matter where you stand, you see proud families, friends and neighbors, sharing gifts and helping hands. We're people helping people, and we're proud that we can say we're always getting better and growing stronger every day. Taking pride in Mobile. Haven't you noticed? We've got it all right here at home. Nothing can stop us. Taking pride in where we're going. Taking pride in who we are. Mobile, show your pride. Together we'll go far. There's a feeling of excitement. You can see it everywhere. The pride of our whole region is the heartbeat that we share. The heartbeat that we share. Taking pride in Mobile. Haven't you noticed? We've got it all right here at home. Nothing can stop us. Taking pride in where we're going. Taking pride Together we'll go far.
Yes, we will. The Uncle Henry Radio Show will stream live on YouTube here in just a moment. The radio show starts in a little less than 3 minutes from now. A little less than 3 minutes from now, the Uncle Henry Show, the radio show, will begin.
Taking pride in Mobile, taking pride in Mobile. Come on, let your spirit show. Taking pride in Mobile. We're growing, shining, winning, so we're taking pride in Mobile. We're old, we're young, we're fast and slow, and we love watching our future grow. Let's tell the world so they will know, and we're taking pride in Mobile. And wherever I may go, I'll tell them I'm from Mobile. We're old, we're young, fast and slow, and we love watching our future grow. Let's tell the world so they will know, and we're taking pride in Mobile. And wherever I may go, I'll tell them I'm from Mobile. Taking pride in Mobile, taking pride in Mobile.
And there's plenty to be proud of. Plenty to be proud of.
Mobile's News Radio 710 WNTM.
The Grand Fiesta Parade is happening tonight in Pensacola. The parade is at 7. Street closures will begin at 5 o'clock. We have complete road blockage due to a crash with injury at the Garcon Point Bridge, Toll Plaza, and Avalon Boulevard in Milton. Also in Destin, the road is blocked due to a crash. Commons Drive East at Highway 293. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by WhatsApp.
On WhatsApp, your personal messages stay private. So things like those selfies from last weekend's party stay between you and your bestie. Because on WhatsApp, your personal messages are yours. No one else can see or hear them, not even us. WhatsApp, message privately with everyone.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
The Uncle Henry Show. Weekday afternoons from 5 till 7.
Simply taking a hot shower or a bath helps. It has been shown that this helps reduce stress. And think of other ways that might help you personally. That might be listening to music. That might be engaging in an adult coloring book or just doodling.
Wonderful town, wonderful people, places to go, things to see. My love is Mobile, that's my wonderful town. Beautiful homes, schools and churches, entertainment, places to shop. My heart's in Mobile, that's my wonderful town. Mobile, the center of transportation, business and industry set the pace. Mobile's got the Junior Miss celebration, home of Mardi Gras and Senior Bowl game.
Mobile is great to live in and work in.
The climate's ideal for progress you see. My love is Mobile, that's my wonderful town.
And now, live from Mobile, Alabama, as the stomach churns, starring Uncle Henry, coming to you through Electro Voice microphone. Joining Henry will be callers, emailers, radio and internet listeners. So without further ado, in the style of that great country music legend Minnie Pearl, here's Henry!
Yes, indeed. Uncle Henry Show underway here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. I appreciate it very, very much. And today just to do something different, there is video. If you'd like to watch video of an older man struggling, an older man like me struggling to broadcast in our modern times, you can see the video today on YouTube. It's on my YouTube channel. Look up Uncle Henry Show on YouTube or Uncle Henry on YouTube, and you'll be able to find the video of me live struggling to broadcast properly here. And it is different. I have been doing the video on Facebook for many years, and today on YouTube already there's somebody watching named Metalhead. So it's different. There was no Metalhead on Facebook. YouTube's bringing out the Metalhead. All right, well, here we are together again, me and you, on the Uncle Henry Show. 251-479-2723, the telephone number. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Whatever you want to bring up to the program, you can, as long as it's not filthy or nasty. I don't want any type of pornographic or scatological discussions on the program, but anything other than that is fair game here on the program. Now, I was out yesterday. When I was out yesterday, we had, the Attorney General of Alabama, Steve Marshall, announced that he is running for the Senate. So Coach Tuberville, not going to run for the Senate. He wants to be governor. So that leaves the Senate seat open, United States Senate. It's a cushy job. What a great job it is to be a senator in the United States of America. You make, what do they make? Like $175,000 plus. I don't know what the perks are, but most of them become multimillionaires when they're done. So apparently there's some type of class, some type of investing class they give you. I don't know. But there's a lot of money involved. You get to go up there. The workload's not very intense. If you look at the number of days they actually meet, you wonder where they are and what they're doing most of the time. And you don't really ever have to accomplish much when you're in the Senate, because you have to deal with all the other senators. And if you don't get anything done, you just come home and say, you know what, I tried. But all those other people, all those ridiculous senators from other states, they stopped me. I tried, but the people from California and Nevada, and they were all ganging up on me. Anyway, it's a cushy job. So Attorney General Steve Marshall is now running for the Republican nomination. There's another guy running, Jared Hudson, who I don't know anything about him other than he's a former Navy SEAL. So you have the Steve Marshall, who's been a prosecutor, an attorney general, a prosecutor, and you've also got a Navy SEAL guy running, Jared Hudson. So we already have I think some good testosterone level going here. This is a good sign. You got the testosterone going here on these people running for Senate. Now, I don't know who I'm going to vote for yet, but I've been doing some thinking on it. Our country is at a pivotal moment, as it seems to have been for quite a while. I haven't decided who I'm going to vote for, but I have decided how I'm going to decide who to vote for. And that is, here in my later years of life, I really want to vote for whoever has the best and most entertaining Southern accent. Yeah, and again, you say, well, Uncle Henry, what about the issues? What about the issues? Well, are the issues ever addressed? Have you been paying attention to the Senate lately? Have they addressed any issues up there? So instead, I think I just want to pick whoever has the best and most entertaining Southern accent. I want somebody as close to Foghorn Leghorn as is humanly possible to represent Alabama in the Senate. That would just, it would make me happy, it entertain me in my twilight years to have some senator up there that sounds like Foghorn Leghorn. Now, of course, the standard for this would be the late Howell Heflin, who represented Alabama in the Senate for many years. If you forgot what Hal Heflin sounded like, here is a little bit of Hal Heflin. Just imagine this voice coming out of a gigantic cartoon rooster.
The south wind blew hard on that ragged old flag. On Flanders Field in World War I, she got a big hole from a burp gun. She turned blood red in World War II. She hung limp and low a time or two.
And see, isn't this good?
In Vietnam, she went where...
Don't you want somebody in the Senate that sounds like this?
She's been dishonored, denied, burned, and refused. Yes, she's growing threadbare, and she's wearing thin.
He's not talking about a woman. He's talking about the flag.
But she's in good shape for the shape she's in. Because she's been through the fire before, I believe that she can take a whole lot more.
This is what I want. I want somebody that sounds like this or close to it in the Senate, if at all possible. And again, this is after I've been realizing, watching these folks for many, many years, and especially the last couple of months, it just doesn't seem like there's much going on up there except useless committee meetings and useless hearings. When I say the word useless, they are used to fundraise, where they can make a fiery speech or get into an argument with somebody and put the video out and then fundraise and say, hey, I need some of your money so I can stay up here and yell at these people. But that's what I want in the Senate. I want somebody that sounds as close as possible to Foghorn Leghorn.
So we'll raise her up every morning, and we'll take her down every night.
No, he's not talking about a woman. He's talking about the flag.
No, son, we don't even let her touch the ground. We fold her up just right.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Dean McCrary Mazda Traffic Center.
And street closures are going into effect in Pensacola for the...
Facebook, no, not Facebook viewers. It's YouTube viewers. Just the rare YouTube experience here for the Uncle Henry Show. Hello to Bama Big Man, JD. The Alabama Bush Hog. I'm impressed that the Bush Hog found his way on here. Metalhead. Thank you all for looking in. And all the people who are not chatting for whatever reason on the YouTube. Or what is this person? Pacify something? Whatever it is, I wouldn't mind being pacified in some form or fashion. Roll Tide to you, whoever you are, pacify person. Okay, well, JD, maybe that's the way it can be. They don't have a Google account, they can't comment. That's just modern life, isn't it? Well, let's see, going to be back on the radio. Oh, 68-year-old Chris of West Loxley is using Sarita's iPad. There he is. Very good. All right, well, 68-year-old Chris, I may talk a little Alabama football later in the YouTube experience here as we move forward on the program. Just because I miss talking about it these days. All right, let's see, I'm getting some bumper music ready for the next segment of the show. Going to be back on the radio here in about 3 minutes with more Uncle Henry Show. Let me see if I can, since this is something new on YouTube, let me go around the room. There's nobody in the room with me, but what cameras are working? Let's see. We've got the more boring background. We got the black screen, the empty chair, bad angle on microphones. Let's see. There's a bunch of bad angles on everything. You can tell we're in radio. We're not into TV here. If we were into TV, things would look a lot better. Maybe I can work on that. If there's a drug, a legal drug that would remove the need for sleep, that would be a wonderful thing, because then I could get some things done. Get some things done if there was not a need for sleep. Well, let's see. What can I tell you about while waiting to go back on the radio? I was at the Wharf in Orange Beach yesterday for the Dwight Yoakam concert. I left Mobile at 2:15 p.m., and even though it was a Thursday afternoon and there is no holiday this weekend, it still took me over 2 hours. It took me over 2 hours to get from Midtown to the Wharf in Orange Beach. So I guess it's that time of year. And it didn't take 2 hours to get back, but it sure took 2 hours to get there. Very nice crowd of people showed up for Dwight Yoakam. They were, I'd say, the age range of like 45 to 105. Wonderful people to talk to. I had people showed up that remembered listening to me on the radio back in 1989, 1990, and they were telling me things that I said and did that I do not remember. So that was it's wonderful to identify what brain cells are no longer there. So there are lots of radio brain cells from 89 and 90 that are gone, that are just permanently gone. But it was nice to meet all those people. Very, very salt of the earth types showing up for Dwight Yoakam. Got to see lots of patriotic wear. That's good. When you go to the beach and people are wearing patriotic wear. A lot of fun. All right, back on the radio here in less than 30 seconds.
Blindster.com.
.com's Memorial Day Encore sale is your last chance to save up to 50% site-wide on custom blinds, shades, and shutters. Don't miss out on these incredible savings. These deals end June 5th. Shop now at Blindster.com.
Roll Tide. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, News Radio 710, WNTM. It's 5:20. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes. Here on the Uncle Henry Show, if you'd like to call the show, telephone number 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. In the last segment of the show, I was telling you about how we've got Attorney General Steve Marshall running for the U.S. Senate. You also have Jared Hudson, a former Navy SEAL, running. Probably more people, and I know there's at least one Democrat. I can't remember that person's name because I don't know if I'm going to need to know that. Maybe I'll need to know that, but I haven't. Maybe I'll learn it over the weekend. But there may be more people jumping in on this. I know a lot of people have joked around about Nick Saban. Roll Tide, roll! Joking around about Nick Saban, and wouldn't it be funny if he ran against Tommy Tuberville for governor? Of course, that would not be funny because I don't know that I want Nick Saban involved in politics. I just don't. I want my memories of him not to be. I don't want him to get all stunk up. That would do it. Just him getting involved in politics too much would just ruin a lot of wonderful memories. So I'd like for him to stay out of it if at all possible. But I got to thinking, we've already had a coach run. We've had Coach Tuberville up there in the Senate. I would love to see more young folk, kind of like Katie Britt, but what about some people like A.J. McCarron? Now, I know he's young, but A.J. McCarron is a competitor. He's fiery. You can tell. You could see the fire in his eyes when he was the quarterback for Alabama Crimson Tide. A.J. McCarron, I still miss him. Even though we've had Tua, we've had Bryce Young, we've had all these incredible Jalen Hurts. I still miss A.J. A.J. ought to run. I would love for A.J. McCarron to run for Senate. He could bring some of what he learned at Alabama up into the Senate. He might even be able to help Katie Britt out by getting some fire into her. If not A.J. McCarron, one of my favorites, another Mobilian, the very scrappy Jake Coker. You know, Jake Coker not talked about enough, in my opinion, in terms of Alabama football, in his outstanding performance with winning that 2015. He beat Clemson. I think he threw for over 300 yards against Clemson, 2 touchdowns. Jake Coker. Get Jake Coker. He's scrappy. He's a fighter. Put him up in there. Either one of those young men, both under the age of 35, but still, I think you only have to be 30 to run for the Senate. So just something to think about. You could have Steve Marshall and this Navy SEAL guy, Jared Hudson, running against AJ or Jake Coker. It would be a wonder. And if anything, we could talk Alabama football during the debates. It'd be a lot of fun. All right, again, 251-479-2723, the telephone number. Hello, caller.
Hey, Uncle Henry, Navco Bill.
Navco Bill, you are live on the radio.
Hey, I just wanted to give you a man on the street report. I was turning onto Satchel Page Drive, and there was a bunch of folks near Topgolf with Paul Prine signs and T-shirts, and there was a bunch of them. And I was thinking of you because they were holding signs that said honk, for Paul Prine and all that. And then I thought, oh, man, would Uncle Henry's wife approve of you honking, even though they're asking for you to honk? What do you think?
Well, and I'm so glad you brought this up, Navco Bill, because I had this conversation with my wife again last night. We're still fighting over the horn, the car horn. She told me that there is no circumstance that ever justifies honking the horn. So even if I were a supporter of his, she would not allow me to honk.
That's crazy. You got to ask her that specifically. Say, what if someone's holding a sign asking you to honk?
Okay, you know what? That would be a fun. This weekend, I'm going to come up with horn honking hypotheticals, and I'll just hit her with all these different hypotheticals and see if there is an instance where I would be allowed to honk the car horn.
Yeah, it was funny, too, because when you brought all that up, I had just, the day before, I believe, I was on the off-ramp from 65 going on to Government, and there was a person ahead of me who had stopped to give one of these hobos or drug addicts or whatever the heck they are on the side of the road money, and the light was green and there was nobody in front of them, and I had people passing me on the right-hand side, and I couldn't get over, and I honked at that joker to, come on, let's go. Don't be giving these folks stuff on the side of the road. If you give them anything on the side of the road, give them a piece of paper that tells them where the rehab centers are and things, or churches they could go to, or Bible verses or something, but don't give them money.
Well, I interviewed some homeless outreach people. This was probably 10 or 15 years ago. They told me that never make it money. Now, if you want to be as kind as you want to be, give them a snack, give them something they can eat or something like that. But some of the people, not all, but some of them have addiction issues. And if you hand them money, you're throwing gasoline on the fire.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's, I hate to have to be that way, but when I left Mobile in 85, 86, we didn't have these issues. We didn't see these folks around panhandling all the time. And that's the one disappointing thing I would say coming back after, almost 30 years, that they're all over the place. I'm like, what happened? It's crazy. Well,
it's not just here. I mean, it is all over the country.
Yeah.
And we as a nation have not figured out, it's obvious to say, you and I both know, we have a mental health crisis all over the country, and that's just one of the examples of the mental health crisis, and nobody wants to address it.
Yeah, oh, definitely. You're right about that, yeah. I think it leads back to Jack Nicholson and that One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and getting all the insane asylums shut down. And not to say there weren't abuses, I'm sure there were.
Mm-hmm.
But there's folks who just can't take care of themselves, or I'll tell you what, there is a true, what I call true homeless person, and a good example of that was like the Palisade fires out in California.
Yeah.
You're working, you got a job, you're paying your taxes, and out in California you're paying way more than your fair share of taxes. You're getting robbed, but when your house burns down like that in a wildfire or something, you are truly homeless. And a lot of those folks can take care of themselves because they got insurance, they got, jobs, they got means, plan for the future. But folks who just want to sit there on welfare and not take care of themselves, hunger can be a great motivator. I'll tell you that.
It motivates me daily. Nevco Bill, I got to run into the break. Thank you for your phone call and your report on the Prime campaign. More Uncle Henry Show after the news break.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Dean McCrary Kia Traffic Center.
In Milton, there is a crash blocking the southbound lanes of Avalon Boulevard before the Garcon Point Bridge. Also, a reminder, the Grand Fiesta Parade is happening in Pensacola tonight. That starts at 7. West on the Bayway from the Eastern Shore to the tunnel in Mobile.
I've lived here all my life, and I've never participated in any of the Fiesta of Five Flags, Fiesta Pensacola stuff. Next year. I need to go next year.
LTE coverage, push-to-talk convenience, and room for up to 200 units on one feed. Keeping connected's never been easier.
Order now at rapidradios.com.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Hi there, I'm Lenny Slagan from Fox 10 News. A 16-year-old from Daphne arrested for last week's shooting at Rock Creek Subdivision in Fairhope. It left a teen girl with injuries after a gunshot wound to the neck. The teenage faces second-degree assault charges classified as unintentional. However, police cited his reckless behavior as the cause of the injury. He's being held at the Baldwin County Corrections Center and will be charged as an adult. The victim is currently in stable condition at a trauma-intensive unit. Well, in another story, Pensacola fisherman Andrew Smith heroically saving a young girl caught in a rip current by using his drone to drop a flotation device. Recognizing his bravery, Swell Pro gifted him the latest Fisherman FD2 drone. Smith has over 2 years of experience with drones, which proved invaluable during the rescue. He expressed gratitude for the recognition and is prepared to help again if necessary. Lastly, President Trump holding an Oval Office conference with Elon Musk, who is stepping down from his role as the head of the Department of Government Efficiency after challenging a 130-day tenure. Musk acknowledged that cost-cutting efforts would continue despite his departure and described Doge as, quote, a way of life like Buddhism, end quote. This time in the position for Musk was marked by legal issues, conflict with cabinet members, and a lack of evidence supporting claims of government savings. I'm Lenny Slagan from Fox 10 News and this iHeartRadio station.
This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier. A federal judge blocking an order from the Trump administration that would prevent Harvard University from enrolling international students. Despite this, the president says he welcomes foreign students to study at the nation's universities.
We want to have great students here. We just don't want students that are causing trouble. We want to have students. I want to have foreign students.
Well, students from other top schools have been removed from classes, threatened with removal from the nation in connection to alleged participation in anti-Israel protests. It was Elon Musk's final day as a special government employee. The Tesla CEO at the Oval Office says his work isn't totally finished.
The Doge team is doing an incredible job. They're going to continue doing an incredible job, and I'll continue to be visiting here and be a friend and advisor to the president.
Well, some Democrats are happy to see him go, accusing him of trimming funding from vital social programs that Americans need. America's listening to Fox News.
An advanced dermatologist.
Facebook viewers going to be, not Facebook, it's YouTube. The weirdness of YouTube. The alien nature of YouTube. Going to be back on the radio. We're in the commercial break. A bunch of commercials are playing. Going to be back on the radio in about 2 minutes. Thank you to all of you that have found me here on YouTube, taking a look. I appreciate it very, very much. If you could subscribe to my channel, that would be appreciated. Not that I ever put much on it, ever. But if you could, that'd be nice. That'd be something that wouldn't cost you anything except a click. And let's see, what can I tell you? I saw this in the news today that starting June 1st, the U.S. Postal Service is starting a month-long campaign to educate the American people on dog bites. It is National Dog Bite Awareness Campaign. Starts June 1st, and it's because postal workers have been attacked by dogs more and more often. Last year, they said they had over 6,000 dog bite attacks on postal workers. Now, I don't know why have we not heard about this? If this is an epidemic, 6,000 dog bite attacks on postal workers last year, allegedly, according to the U.S. Postal Service. So they're starting, and California, #1 state for dog bites for the postal workers. Los Angeles is the #1 city in the United States for dogs biting the mailman or the mail lady. So again, this makes me wonder about, that's the mailman. What about UPS? What about FedEx? The Amazon deliveries. But they want you to know you should not let your dog, they're going to have an entire month where they try to explain to you that you should not let your dog eat the mailman. So in case you didn't know that,
This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, News Radio 710 WNTM. It is 5:35. Proud to be here broadcasting on AM radio. News Radio 710 WNTM. And today, just putting live video of the show on the Uncle Henry YouTube channel. So if you'd like to look at video of an older man struggling in these modern times to stay up with the times, you can go to my YouTube channel and see that. Now, there's plenty of things in the news to talk about. 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. But I was looking at the people watching on YouTube, commenting. Let's see, there's a lot of wonderful people like Becky Lockwood and Steve Summersell and Bama Big Man and Metalhead. There's a Metalhead watching. There's someone called Love Freak 69. All of these people, I was looking at their comments, and I learned from them that Hot Lips Houlihan from television, Loretta Swit, has passed away. Just real quick, if you don't mind, I would like to. I'd like to take a listen here to the Loretta Swit obituary.
Loretta Swit, best known as Major Hot Lips Houlihan on MASH, has died. She was 87 years old. Her rep confirmed she passed Friday at her home in New York City of suspected natural causes. Swit was Emmy nominated for MASH every year from 1974 to 1983, winning twice. Her character evolved from a villain to a respected, complex figure, originally allied with Frank Burns, who was having an affair with Hot Lips and existed as the object of practical jokes from Hawkeye and Trapper John. After MASH, she starred in the 1983 holiday classic The Best Christmas Pageant Ever and appeared in TV movies and series like The Love Boat and Murder, She Wrote. Her final TV role came in 1998 on Diagnosis Murder. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
All right, so Hot Lips at 87, passing away at 87. I watched MASH like many Americans did when it was on in those days of 3 channels on television. Watched a lot of MASH, and then watched some years of MASH in reruns throughout the years, because so many of those episodes I thought were pretty funny. You notice in the obituary they talked about her character evolving. She evolved into a more noble figure throughout the course of the television show, the evolution of Hot Lips Houlihan. and I thought about this before because I did rewatch MASH. All of the characters on the show allegedly evolved and changed and all that kind of stuff. The only character that they did not allow to grow at all was Frank Burns. That for whatever, they would not let that character change. Every other character did. Anyway, MASH, if you're looking for something to watch over the weekend, probably better than anything on current television. 251-479-2723, the telephone number. That's 251-479-2723. By the way, probably an unpopular opinion, but I think the best actor on MASH, definitely not Alan Alda or any of the doctors. I think the best actor was Radar. Yeah, Radar O'Reilly was the best actor on MASH, in my personal opinion. Again, 251-479-2723, the telephone number. Now, a couple of days ago, I had a story for you about the city of Mobile is spending money to buy 2 robot lawnmowers. They're going to be robot lawnmowers, autonomous lawnmowers. I think it's $85,000 for these 2 lawnmowers that are going to be robot lawnmowers. And somebody called in, left messages about the robot lawnmowers.
Uncle Henry, when I try to call your other number to call in the show, excuse me, I get KSJ's voicemail. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. 479-2723.
Yes.
But I just heard the news during your news break on the show about the city of Mobile, or you brought it up, buying robot lawnmowers. Why can't they get these inmates out of the barracks that's trustees and put them on lawnmowers and let them go around? They're already getting 2-for-1 time served. Put them on lawnmowers and let them cut the grass around the city. My gosh, is Mobile City Council just looking for something to blow money on? I don't know.
All right, sir. By the way, sir, thank you very much for that voicemail. And he called right back in.
Going back to this artificial intelligence lawnmower thing, Henry.
Yes.
I worked for a company that had, the office was ran by artificial intelligence. That's right. The office manager was an Auburn graduate. The company is now out of business, and I had enough sense to move on and get a better job because I could see the writing on the wall.
All right. Sir, thank you very much for sharing that with me. The voicemail number 251-216-1976. That's 251-216-1976. Hello, caller.
Uncle Henry.
John McNeil. Hey, John McNeil, are you going to run for the Senate?
No.
Oh.
You know, there's something about skeletons in the closet type thing. I don't think I need to do that.
Oh, okay.
But,
all right.
But NAFCO Bill, yeah, I hope NAFCO Bill's still listening. I lived for 35 years on Benicia Road, which NAFCO dead ends in the Benicia. I know he knows where it is. But as far as that honking, I don't understand why your wife doesn't allow honking. Why do they put horns on cars? You know, the horns on cars and trucks are not designed to honk at other cars necessarily. They're designed to honk at people. So, twice I have been in rural Alabama, and there'd be some guys out there on the side of the street with a horn, with a sign that says "honk and we drink," and they had ice chests sitting there, and you honk, and they have to chug a beer.
All right.
I stopped at one of them, and I said, "Are y'all a group or something?" They were in a fraternity. And I said, "Y'all having a good time?" He said, "Yeah, every time somebody honks, we have to drink a beer." And I'm thinking, how long y'all been here? Oh, about 45 minutes. And they were all just wasted. So, you know, a horn has a purpose in certain circumstances. But, Uncle Henry?
Yes.
Every day I go to votenappy.com and vote for Uncle Henry for the best talk show host, the best voice, the best radio station, and I go to Mary Booth too and vote for her for the best DJ. So everybody, I encourage everybody to go to votenappy.com.
Well, thank you.
We got one more day.
Yeah, there's only one more day of voting. And John McNeil, I vote for you in your category for investments or financial advisor. I'm voting for John McNeil every day at votenappies.com.
Well, Uncle Henry, I hope you have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you, John McNeil, for giving me the history of the horn.
And roll, tide, roll.
Roll, tide, roll.
John McNeil.
Thank you, John McNeil. And there he goes. Yeah, John McNeil. Yeah, votenappies.com. Vote for John McNeil. It's too bad that we can't get a guy like John McNeil to run for the United States Senate. Then I could relax. Then I could relax if John McNeil was running for Senate and were to get in there. All right, there is more. Yes, there is more Uncle Henry Show to come here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Don't forget you can listen to previous episodes like yesterday's abbreviated show. You can find those episodes on the iHeartRadio app. Just look for Uncle Henry Show. Or go to newsradio710.com for the podcast.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Dean McCrary Kia Traffic Center.
Watch for a crash with road blockage in Pensacola Pine Forest Road at West Detroit Boulevard. Also a crash in Milton, Highway 90 at Chumuckla Highway. And a crash that has Avalon Boulevard southbound closed at the Garcon Point Bridge. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Bakke.
Facebook view, not Facebook, it's YouTube. I'll be back on Facebook Monday. Thank you for watching the Uncle Henry Show on YouTube. Ben Griffin, Pat Nelly, all the other ones. Thank you. And don't be upset if you were called an other one. But thank you all for looking in on the program. Yes, 68-year-old Chris, there was an abbreviated version of the show yesterday available as a podcast at newsradio710.com or on the iHeartRadio app. Hello to Shadow Milk Cookie Jester Boy. Now, let's see. What can I tell you about while waiting to go back on the radio? Let's say in upstate New York, near Lake Placid, they have a mountain called Cascade Mountain. Some hikers thought it would be fun to go hiking and enjoy some nature up on Cascade Mountain, and the hikers wanted to accentuate the experience by eating psilocybin mushrooms. So they ate a bunch of the magic psilocybin mushrooms, and after a while, they called 911 to report that one of their friends had passed away. So when a park ranger arrived on the scene and asked them about their friend who had passed away, they decided to call the friend on the phone, and the friend was alive and well. So this is a public service announcement. Don't use the psilocybin mushrooms. They were all put in an ambulance. They were put in an ambulance and treated for the mushrooms, and then New York State Police got after them for having the mushrooms. Let's see. There is a Dutch weather forecaster who, why would I bring up a Dutch weather forecaster? The Dutch weather forecaster is claiming that Belgium is stealing his country's wind, that they've built so many wind turbines for wind power in Belgium. The weather forecaster is accusing Belgium of stealing their wind, that by the time the wind goes through the wind turbines, there's none left for his country. What else can I tell you about? I know there's other stupid things to tell you about. Going to be back on the radio in less than a minute. A man in Iowa City got in trouble with the law because he walked around Iowa City with a sword. The charge was being ineligible to carry a sword due to his previous felony convictions. So just in case, if you wanted to go carry a sword up in Iowa, don't have a felony.
iHeartRadio app, now #1 for podcasting. This is News Radio 710 WNTM, an iHeartRadio station.
Uncle Henry Show, News Radio 710 WNTM. It is 5:50. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes. And I got another message just phoned into the program about honking the car horn.
Hey, good afternoon, Uncle Henry. Response, this is RT. I just want to respond to your darling wife, I'm sure. Honking horns saves lives.
By the way, I'm going to save that and play it to her. I'm going to put it on my phone. Honking horns saves lives.
Honking horns saves lives. There's nothing wrong with letting other drivers know, hey, I'm here too.
Hey, I'm here too.
I mean, if they don't see you, they don't recognize you, they will run over you sometimes. It's a good thing. Always let people know, hey.
All right, so RT, thank you. Thank you very much for your voicemail about honking horns. I'm glad that there are some people that are helping me in that particular struggle I'm having. Let's see, 251-479-2723, the telephone number here on the Uncle Henry Show, if you'd like to call in before we are out of time in this segment of the show. Now, I think it was earlier this week, a snake trapper called in and talked about eating turtles and turtle eggs. A controversial call about him getting turtle eggs and making an omelet out of his turtle eggs. Now, Buford called to let us know that his son has caught a turtle. He was trying to catch fish and ended up with a turtle.
Henry, this here's Buford. Henry Buford Jr. caught him a soft-shell turtle off a dock. Caught everything but a daggum fish. But anyway, Henry got to thinking. Of course, the first thing I did was texted the snake trapper to see if they were good eating. Henry, I want to catch me a turtle this summer and munch on them. And so I got to thinking, Henry, would you be interested in having me catching a turtle? And Snake Trapper, I called Snake Trapper up, and he'd show me how to clean it, and then we would clean that turtle and cook them and eat them on your radio program. Perhaps you could do a remote broadcast from my compound on Dog River. or Snake Trapper's house or wherever. It don't matter to me. Or we can do it in the studio if you like, if they let us clean a turtle inside of it. But anyway, Henry, I think it would be a magnificent AM radio program.
All right, I'm pausing the message there, Buford, to let you know that this is like a dream come true. It is the idea, because I'm always trying to figure out what on earth can I do? What can I bring to the radio show that people would be attracted to, that they would gravitate to, that's not filthy or nasty or some type of sin or vice. Because, modern day people, they're just all attracted to horrible, horrible things. And this would be a wonderful, wholesome thing that could attract so many listeners to the Uncle Henry Show. The idea of being able to listen to respectable grown men eating turtle. Yes, the answer is yes. Yes to all of that. I could try to do the show from your dock, or we could do it from Snake Trapper's kitchen, or you could bring it up in here. But yes, yes, yes. What a great show that would be.
And you don't get no more AM than that. But anyway, this is my phone number. If you don't already have it, it's 2.
I'm not going to let you put your phone number out on the air.
54. Call me, text me if you're interested, and we work out the details. And but anyway, Henry, just thought I'd run that by you. If not, I completely understand, especially with y'all's the rules and regulations y'all got with broadcast and all that. I don't even know if that's something you could do, but
well, no, as long as now I don't want to eat anything that's endangered. We don't want to have any type of endangered species cookout. I don't want to do that. No. But if it's not endangered, if it's a non-endangered creature, this is all part of the circle of life as is taught in the Lion King film, where it's the circle of life, where people are eating things like cows and chickens and turtles.
Anyway, we think it'd be a great, great radio show. Anyway, you have a good day.
Beaver, thank you. What a wonderful offer. Yes, I'm all in for it. I'm all in for it. Would love to. In fact, I would love to do it, not just a turtle cooking and eating show, but any type of exotic but legal animal cookout would be wonderful here on the Uncle Henry Show. All right, well, there's more to come. Yes, I've got more show. See, I've got some messages stacked up. I've got some Snake Trapper stacked up I want to get to before the end of the show. More Uncle Henry Show to come after the news break here on News Radio 710 WNTM. All right, YouTube viewers, thank you for watching the experimental YouTube streaming situation. I'm going to go turn the camera off. The rest of the show will be on the magnificent AM radio, or you can hear it on the podcast. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. I will be here Monday, but on Facebook.